Okay, so today I'm going to talk about sleep and why we should aim to get more sleep because it benefits our health. So I'm going to start out by asking a few questions. So how many of you guys get at least 8 hours of sleep each night?
No.
No, you guys get less than 6 hours of sleep, or like 6 to less. Okay. And how many of you guys have like waited the night of or like the night before to like complete an assignment and end up staying up super late? Okay, same. So as students, our main focus is school. Like we feel that we need to study to get good grades, but we also tend to procrastinate. So by procrastinating, we wait till the last minute and end up staying up super late to finish an assignment and not get enough sleep. Staying up late and not getting enough sleep has negative effects on the body because it doesn't allow our brain and body to function to its fullest. So the average college student gets about 6 hours or less of sleep each night, and this might seem like enough, but it's really not because the ideal amount of sleep that a person needs to like be able to fully function is 8 to 9 hours of sleep. So without that, we can't absorb information as well. So I'm going to show you guys a chart. So this was a study that like they had them try to learn something. So like it starts like when you wake up, they had people try to learn something like words and stuff, and then they saw that people who like went to sleep that night like and got a good amount of sleep were able to retain the information the next day better than someone who like stayed up super late and didn't get enough sleep. So you can kind of see like the difference in like retention. Okay, so I'm going to first talk about why we sleep. So during the day when we use a lot of energy from like studying and working out and doing all of that, so we need our bodies and brain to recover, and that's why each night like the recommended amount is 8 to 9 hours so that we can let our brain rest and our body rest. When we sleep, we create something called brain plasticity, which is the ability to absorb and retain information that we learn throughout the day. So without that, with like less sleep, we don't get build as much, and we don't let our brain release the waste that helps our learning be ideal. Okay, so now that we know why we sleep and why it's important, let's talk about how to make sure you get enough sleep. So time management actually has a big role in how much sleep we get because if you manage your time and like spread out your things during the week, you can focus on making sure that you go to bed early each night. So time management is something that is very hard for college students because we tend to want to do what we want during that time of day. Like we might want to go like to the mall or not study for hours in the library, and then we end up staying up till 2 a.m. working on an assignment. Something that as college students need to work on is just like setting up a plan to study ahead of time and leading up to like our tests and our assignments so that we won't be waiting till the night before to complete it. So not sleeping the night before test is actually a big deal because when you're not getting enough sleep and you're staying up really late just to cram study, you're not going to be able to retain the information as well as like the chart that I showed you. You won't retain the information as well the next day for your test, and you probably won't perform as well as if you were to study like throughout the week, like for a few hours each day. So I would encourage, something that helps me is I always keep a planner in my backpack because I know that some people just think like, oh, I'll remember the assignments, but writing it down is actually really helpful to a lot of people. So if you're someone who like tends to forget things really easily, I would recommend to get a planner and write them down. So sleep is important so that we can perform well in our studies, but it's also important because it keeps us happy and healthy. So studies have found that people who have consistent sleep schedules and get enough sleep tend to be happier. There's a few reasons for this. So when we sleep, we go into REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement, and that's when we go in the process of dreaming and all of those cycles that lead up to dreaming. So one way that we end up being happier is through our dreams. So if you ever like had a really good dream and like you don't really like want to wake up, but you wake up and like you had a really good dream, don't you wake up like happier, right? So that's actually like been proven that like people who have like good dreams and like remember them, even if you don't remember them, like it just like has an effect on your brain that you kind of end up waking up in a happier mood. So there's that, and then also like when we sleep, we rest and we get like our brain refreshes and stuff. So naturally you're going to wake up in a better mood because you feel like re-energized and ready for the day, rather than if you like go to bed at 3 a.m. and have to get up at 7 a.m. for a class. and then you're just super tired, you're not going to be happy because you just want to go back to sleep. So there's that. Another way to help your body rest is to take power naps. So a lot of people think that power naps are like just people just think that power naps are like okay, I'm gonna take a 3-hour nap and I'm good for the day. But it's actually not good because when you take a nap during the day for like 3 hours, your body actually tries to go into REM and you end up waking up more tired and just wanting to go back to sleep than being able to refresh. So the recommended power nap time is actually 15 to 20 minutes. That's like the perfect amount of time to refresh your body and get ready for like if you wanted to take a little nap and then do your homework, that's actually the perfect amount of time, and over that you start to get more tired and sluggish when you wake up. Another good tip to practicing a healthy sleep cycle is just like keeping a consistent cycle. So keeping a consistent sleep cycle is good because it allows the body to get used to the same thing and then be able to easily recover. So for example, someone who goes to sleep at around from like 9:30 to 10:30 each night will actually build a healthier. For example, someone who goes to bed from 9:30 to 10:30 each night gets used to the same sleep schedule and can it's better for their body because they can recover more easily over time when they get used to the same thing. In conclusion, sleep is something that college students don't really take very seriously. They think that it's okay to not get enough sleep because it's known as the college norm for people, for like college students, they're staying up late to study, so it's okay that they're not getting enough sleep. But it's actually our responsibility and our fault when we don't get enough sleep. It's our responsibility to make sure that we get our assignments done ahead of time so that we're not relying on the last night to do those assignments and studying for tests and then end up going to bed at 3 a.m. and not getting enough sleep. All in all, sleep is very important because without enough, our body can be negatively affected, such as getting diseases such as sleep insomnia and stress and just on the body. So sleep is really important, and time management and all of that is just helpful ways to get more sleep.